Okay, so let's continue. One thing that I forgot to place here is a delay of 5 seconds. So delay, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and type in 5,000 and close it. This initial delay is here, as I've explained it before, because the device doesn't get recognized instantaneously, and you want to give your system time to actually recognize the device that is plugged in prior to the device actually beginning the execution of the functions or of the code in general. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch to Windows. Okay, we're going to close this and close this, and we're going to type in PowerShell, and we need PowerShell ISC, and we're going to run that as administrator. Okay, so loading, and we're going to go ahead and create a new file. So new. It's as of yet untitled, but we're going to save it as windows.ps1. Just go ahead and expand this across the screen. And let me just go ahead and pull my notes. So move to desktop 2. Okay, excellent. There we go. So now we're basically going to need two functions here, and a single function call will be executing those two functions. So the first function that we need is to check whether or not the machine is currently connected to the internet. Because if it is not connected to the internet, there is no point of whatsoever to download the keylogger or whatever. So we type in function, and then we're going to name this function check inet, so check internet connection. Excellent. So now we can begin typing, and you have autocomplete here, so that's a bit of a nice feature. But I have a US keyboard and not a UK keyboard here, so bear with me here. The status shall be equal to ping. There are no, you don't actually define the types of variables here, just give a variable name, $, then a name, and then you assign some sort of value to that variable. And the interpreter can deduce from the value assigned to the variable, whether it's an integer, a string, or whatever. So ping, let's say google.com, and we're going to check whether google.com can be pinged or not. If there is a reply to our ping, then great. The machine is connected to the internet. If there are no replies to our ping, then the machine is not connected to the internet. And Google is very kind enough to allow their servers to be actually pingable. Thank you for that. Please be kind and do not continuously ping them. You are doing them harm in such a way because you're basically occupying their bandwidth. I mean, they have a lot, and your ping is an insignificant speck, but still, it's something that should be taken into consideration. Anyway, we move on with the next variable, which will be con, so stands for connection, and this will be a Boolean or an integer, but integer used as a Boolean. So we will initialize this to 0. So the initial assumption will be that there is no internet connection. And once the check is complete, if there is internet connection, this variable the con value will change from 0 to 1. So we need to go ahead and type in if, and then $, status, and then -ne. -ne stands for not equal. And then we need a string here, which will be like this. So ping request could not find host google.com. Oops. Please check the name and try again. Escape char quote mark, and then close it. Okay, so I'm just missing a dot here. So this is the reply that you get if there is no internet connectivity. And if the status basically is not equal to this, then obviously you have internet connectivity. Let me just go ahead and show you this CMD. If I type in ping google.com, you see I get a reply, and that's all fine and dandy. But if I go into network set, can I actually disable the connection from here? No, I can't. Change adapter settings, and if I disable this, if I go back into the CMD and I do ping, and there we go. It says ping request could not find host google.com. Please check the name and try again. So if you get this, obviously you don't have internet connectivity. If you don't get this, chances are that you do have internet connectivity. This is not a 100% guarantee, but it is more, but it more than suffices for the purpose at hand. So I'm just go ahead and re-enable this and continue coding here. Okay, let's continue. So if this is not equal to this, then initialize con, then set the value of con to 1, and we'll need an else statement down below, else con equals 0. So else keep it as 0, and that will signify that there is no internet connectivity. At the end of the function, go ahead and return the value of con. So return con, and okay, so return con. Okay, there we go. So at the end, just go ahead and return con, and that's going to be it. You don't actually require these. I'm sorry, this is from the... you will need these later. When you actually put it into a string, you will need to escape the quote marks. But for the time being, you don't actually need to escape the quote marks. In my notes, I have it with escape chars, so that's why I've placed them there. But while you're writing the PowerShell script, you don't need the escape chars, but when you actually put the script into a string, then you will need to apply the escape chars in order for this to actually work. Okay, so we have this function, and once this function is called, it will actually check whether or not internet connectivity exists or not, whether the machine is connected to the internet or not. Now, we need the second function, which will actually download and install the keylogger, which will actually be utilizing the check inet function to check whether the internet connectivity is there or not, and based upon the return value from the check inet function, it will act. If it basically confirms that there is internet connection, okay, it will proceed to download and verify the download and then install. But if the, well, not technically install, just place it in the right position, in the right place on the file system. But if there is no internet connectivity, it will just sleep for a minute, and then after a minute, it will go ahead and perform the check again. Okay, so bid you farewell, and we shall see each other in the follow-up tutorial.